Hello, I am here. And yeah. I still don't understand how to do an intro. So they're just always going to be awkward probably. But anyway, my name is Sarah, coming to you from Northeast Ohio. And I changed my little location today. I normally sit on that side of my little table, but the lighting is becoming so awkward in this room because spring is here. So all of my trees around our house are like in full bloom and full of leaves and things. So my lighting keeps changing. So I'm still trying to figure it out. If you've been around for a while, I used to record these downstairs in my office knitting space, which is where I intend to get back to. But we are still, unfortunately, in the middle of reorganizing a storage room that's connected to my office. So all of the storage contents are still in my office, and it's like very messy and overwhelming, and I don't like to be in that space. So eventually we will get back down there. The lighting's wonky down there too, so it is what it is for now, and we have to just roll with it. That's just what has to happen. Hopefully this won't be much of a distraction. This is right outside here is my most favorite place in the entire world. Well, in my house, I guess. In the summertime, it is our back patio, and my husband, a few years ago, actually, it might have been 2020, it might have been COVID year, screened it all in for me because I have a huge, I'm not alone in the world. What am I trying to say? Mosquitoes very much gravitate towards me. So I never liked sitting on our porch. But he is wonderful, as I always talk about, and screened it in. It had to have been 2020. So since then, it has been my most favorite place. And I try to kind of every year we add a little bit more to really make it better or more of whatever the vision in my head is, it changes. But it's in a really great place right now. I just need to get some more plants out there. I always take all of my indoor plants and put them out there in the summertime. But I always need more plants. I don't know if you feel the same, but I love plants very much. And actually now that they're all outside, that like my inside house feels very naked and void of plants. So I want more plants for out there and for in here. The problem then being in the winter, obviously, when I bring them in, I still have to find a space for all of them. But anyway, that's off topic. But yeah, so I have this rocking chair right here that my sweet husband, again, I saw it at a garage sale, and he repainted it for me it was for my 30th birthday, actually. So that is there. And then let me see if I can move this a little bit without making anybody sick. And then I have this amazing couch right there that both ends fold down, so you can actually totally lay down on it. And yes, absolutely, I do take many spring and summer naps out there. And then this wood, if you can see that, we just have a TV stand out there because I do, yes, also have a TV out there. And then way in the back end there, you can only see one chair, but I have a set of 2 chairs with a little end table for like a little sitting area over there. And then all of my plants are yonder that way, but I do have a few plants back in that corner too. Anyway, sorry, random tour of my porch area, but I do love it so much. And then we actually have stairs that go down to our yard, that we also have an outdoor couch down at the bottom there too, if you wanted to be like actually outside. So yeah, anyway, hopefully that's not much of a distraction. You also might see now that it's screened into, we let our cats out there, and they are obsessed with being out there. I took a really funny picture. It's not funny. I think it's funny. You're not going to care about it, but of them out there. They're literally like, they feel like they're kings of the world out there. So I'll put that in. It was a cute little picture I snagged of the 2 of them hanging out on the chairs. I have a lot to talk about today. But some of it's not going to be knitting stuff, so I'm actually going to save that for the end. I just kind of wanted to talk about my like weird absences a little bit more and kind of where I am with myself, because myself is not all that great. But I don't know what you're here for, so I want to try to accommodate. I'm going to do all my knitting stuff first, and then I'll do Sarah stuff after. I don't have, though, my April stats, and I'm so bummed about that. I realized that this morning that I never tallied them all up, and then I went to go do it this morning for today's video, since this is my first May video, which feels so weird because May's like half over already. But and then I realized that I did a terrible job even keeping that up to date, like, period. I am missing a billion projects from there. So I will probably just wrap up April and May stats together in my June video. Sorry, my cat was at the door. I didn't know if he wanted let in. I normally just leave this door open into the house, but of course, like, at the time of day that I'm picking to do this, everybody's out like mowing and weed whacking their lawns. So the noise outside is like, woof. I actually wanted to record this outside today, but again, neighbor things, which is fine. But anyways, so what has been going on otherwise very quickly? Oh, it was just Mother's Day on Sunday. I don't know if you celebrated. If you do, happy belated Mother's Day. I hope you had a wonderful day. I don't even know, is Mother's Day celebrated worldwide? Or is it like one of those holidays that like Hallmark made up to like sell things? I don't even know if that's a worldwide holiday. But happy Mother's Day. Even if you don't celebrate it, happy Mother's Day. We had a great day. We very traditionally do the same thing on Mother's Day and Father's Day every year, which is great because then we don't have to plan anything and we know what we're doing. We go out to, there's a sweet little place about 25 minutes east of us called Geneva on the Lake. It is on Lake Erie, and there is my most favorite place ever, Eddie's Bar and Grill. It's not Eddie's Bar and Grill, Eddie's Grill. There's no bar. I don't know why I said that. And so we always go there, and then we always do putt-putt, and then we always go to my favorite ice cream place called Katie's Corners, which is all on Geneva on the Lake. It's just like one strip of a street. So we went out there to do that. We also took a little walk in one of our metro parks before we went. And then we got out there, and it was like I thought it was going to be a little too chilly to do putt-putt, so we kind of X'd that out of our plans before we even went out there. But then, of course, we got out there, and it's like sunny and beautiful, and it was nice, but then it just didn't fit into like the timing of the day. And then I was devastated because my favorite ice cream place, Katie's Corners, was not open. I'm really, really hoping that it's just like a seasonal thing and they're going to be opening closer to summer and they're not like permanently closed, because there was no information online about this situation. But they are always open when we go out for Mother's Day. So I don't know. I'm very nervous about this. I'm very nervous. So we'll see. So we did that, and then prior to going out, we did stop to visit Tom's mom and my grandma very quickly just to wish them a happy Mother's Day and chat for a few minutes. So it was a packed day, and it was really lovely, and the weather ended up cooperating. It was maybe mid-60s, but totally sunny. So it was a really nice day. It was good. So we did that, and then this week has been also awesome because I'm off work. I'm taking a little staycation, if you will. I just had some extra vacation time, which has never, ever once happened to me in my entire adult working life. But I had some time I needed to take, so this week was available, so I took it. I was planning on having a garage sale at the end of the week, but this little gal did not stay on top of getting ready for a garage sale in the weeks prior. So that's been ex-nayed. But I do still have a lot to do this week. So we'll see how that goes. That's that. And that's that. What else? Oh, my no buy try on yarn is going very well still. I will pop a little picture up of how long it's been. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, awesome. I think that's awesome. 42 days. That's amazing. Again, I'm not counting yarn that I had to buy for gifts or that I was buying for gifts, any of that kind of stuff. But like yarn for, well, I've talked about this before. We don't need to go over it again. But anyway, 42 days. Super stoked about that. I'm very proud of myself. I have had many urges to purchase yarn, obviously, because I do follow a ton of people on Instagram, which I know a lot of people, when they're trying not to buy yarn, unfollow them. But their yarns are just so pretty. And I am obsessed with Arcane Fibers posts because they like take these like videos of them actually like dyeing the yarn and like what it looks like, and then you know what it turned out to be along with the inspiration side by side. And it's like the coolest thing ever to me. It's just so I love following them so much. So yes, it has been very tricky, and then especially because I am gonna plan on partaking in Kay the Crazy Sock Ladies summer sock camp. Are any of you guys gonna do it? I'm excited. Last year was the first year I knew about it just because of the timing when I started to knit. And I had full intentions. I had all of my plans laid out. I printed out all of the patterns I wanted to do along with the yarns and in bags. Like I was literally prepped. And then I have no idea what happened, but last summer I lost all knitting mojo. And I have heard previously that that happens in the summertime. But it literally was like gone. Like I don't even know if I finished one pair of socks. I did. I had to have, I think. I don't know. But it was like it was a total mess. But my sock mojo lately has been going strong. So I'm really hoping that will continue because it's starting very soon. I think she starts it the Friday before Memorial Day. So for Memorial Day in the US, it's this year, it's the last weekend in May. So she's starting it, that would make it, I think, May 24th. Don't quote me on that, please. Well, don't ever quote me on anything. But I think it's starting that Friday. I'm super excited about it. I'm not going to go in strong with like plans like I tried to do last year. I honestly actually think I have still some of the yarn like still in bags and ready to go from last year. But I'm just going to see, you know, what I feel like doing when. I have been very much like as soon as I finish a sock, I've been getting another sock on the needles right away because it does feel really weird to not have socks going right now. So I'm just hoping that I can just like continue, but we'll see. So that's all that stuff. I only have one finished object. Sorry, I don't know. Side note, I apologize for things on here, and like other podcasters do too, but also like, what are we apologizing for? Like people always be like, oh, sorry for the loud noises while I unwrap this, or sorry if I'm looking away, it's because I'm looking at my screen or my notes. Like, why do we even do that? Who cares? I don't know. Anyway, that's something I need to work on. I'm gonna stop apologizing for things. Okay, so finished objects. I only have one, but I'm very excited about them. These are a gift for my aunt who has been asking for a pair of socks. My last video, I was talking that I made, here, let me grab the yarn really quick. I don't know what that was. I had wanted to purchase, Hugh Loco had a colorway called Robin that I had talked about in my last video. It was my mom's name. My aunt's birthday is the day after my mom's. This is the first year without my mom. It's gonna be a hard birthday, all the things. So I really wanted to buy this yarn color for her, or this yarn colorway for her, because it was called Robin, and she has been asking for a pair of socks. So this is what I have left of the yarn. It's really, really beautiful. I will say though, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that I'm disappointed because it's a beautiful yarn. But there were, as I worked it up, there were a lot of blues in it. Like I knew that there was blue because obviously like I saw the picture of the colorway, but sorry, I'm just laughing. I left this ball of yarn. I know, oh, one of my cats wants in. Come on. come on. I left this ball of yarn just like this on my table here, and my cats like to go up on this table because obviously cats get into everything, and they knocked it off. And then we had run our little like robot electric vacuum thing and I didn't know it. Anyway, the vacuum got, are you in? Okay. The vacuum got caught all up in my yarn, and it was like, anyway, like I'm just laughing because there's this like, I don't know if I can repair it. I haven't looked yet, but there's like little bits like this that are frayed and pulled apart all over it. I don't even know if you can see it. It doesn't matter. I was just laughing. So there's a lot of blue in it, and I don't know. I assume that robins, like the bird robins, are probably, there are different species across the US. Like that's just how most like animals work. So I don't know if like the species around, this is from, I said Huloco. So like wherever they're from, I don't know if their robins have more blue in them, but ours don't here in Northeast Ohio. Ours are very much like brown and then the red breasted. So I was like a little, I don't know. I don't want to say disappointed because it's beautiful yarn, but it's just not, there's a lot more blue than I thought. Obviously, I said that. I'm sorry. Oh, this is rambly. Are you guys still with me? I'm sorry. Anyway, so I finished these. They are all blocked. I just have a couple like little fuzzies that need to be like clipped off. But I just did the morning coffee sock pattern, which is a pattern by Kay, the Crazy Sock Lady. And I've done this pattern before. I purposely picked this pattern, well, for two reasons. One, because my aunt and cousin and I often go grab breakfast together. And so the morning coffee just kind of reminded me of our breakfasts together. And then I also knew I wanted to do some kind of a lightly textured sock, but I didn't want to get too heavy with anything because I knew this was going to be a darker colorway. It's so pretty. It is pretty. I just wish it was a little less blue, but I knew that, I guess, going into it. And then I picked this textured pattern because I had knit it before and remembered it being very easy to memorize. So, and I actually then found out when I was adding this as a Ravelry page that I had knit it 2 other times. So this is my 3rd time knitting it. So I must really like it. So anyway, these are done. She wears shorty socks. So I got to make another pair of shorties, which I think I might be obsessed with because they work up so fast. I guess I never realized how much time the legs took. But you're basically taking almost that entire leg out of it, especially because I like my legs longer. So yeah, pair of socks done. I'm gonna give these to her for her birthday, which is May 26th. I also still, I don't know what my problem is. I still have not gifted my grandma the socks that I finished for her a billion weeks ago. Those actually still need blocked. I was going to block all of my socks, like, and I was hand washing our other knit socks, but those socks are white based, and I just wasn't sure, especially since it was the first time like washing these and stuff. I wasn't sure. I didn't want any bleeding issues. So I have to still block those, but I'm going to give those to my grandma as well. When I see everybody, my aunt's birthday typically falls on Memorial Day weekend or right around there. So we'll usually get together for Memorial Day, have a cookout, and celebrate her and my mom's birthdays together. So I'm going to give these to her then. And then I'm going to also give my grandma those socks then as well, just because why not? She birthed them, so we should be celebrating her too. And then we'll go just right into whips, I guess, because I'm also making, how cute is this bag, you guys? Let's talk about this for a second, actually. Look at how stinking cute that is. I love it. This is just like screams summer to me, and it makes me so happy. This is from Sassy Sacks on Etsy. I went a little bag crazy, probably since I'm not buying yarn anymore. I substituted that for buying a bunch of bags. But really I had started to look for bags because I don't have the majority of my bags are sock size bags, and I had been getting into more into like garment knitting. So I did want a few more bigger bags, which I have bags, sure, but it doesn't matter. I wanted to buy some bags. So I did. So I bought a few for her. I'll show you 2 other ones that I have projects in already. And then I bought, I can't remember where else I bought from. I bought from this beautiful Canadian shop. But I'm going to be putting my next project in her bag. So I guess I'll talk about that then. But anyway, her bags are great. They're, I bought all drawstring bags. I can't remember if she has different options, but there's no like pockets or anything inside. They're just, which I don't necessarily need. I keep all of my stuff in just like little, I have all of my, like everything I need in these little tins that I bought from Amazon that just have like a little slide thing. So all of my scissors are in here, a darning needle, and any stitch markers or anything I need for projects are in there. Okay, back on track. So I decided to make my cousin, who also likes my socks, I'm using the rest of my Freckled Whimsy. I had purchased 1 month of her Christmas sock club. So I'm using the rest of this. This was last month. This was April's colorway. I think it's called Vintagey Christmas, I think. I had already made myself a pair of socks with these, so I decided to make her some shorty socks so that we can be matching and wear them at Christmas time. But I'm going to give them to her now. So I'm just doing vanilla socks, again, shorties, which are fantastic. And then I did add, I don't know if it's going to end up being a good idea or not, but I did just add this little purling detail on the front. At the beginning and at the end of each round, I just did 4, you can't really see it, I'm sorry. I just did 4 pearls at the beginning and end, just to create just a little, just a little something. I don't know what it's going to look like on her foot, but I don't know. Just a little extra, I guess. So I have those going. I'm through the gusset decreases, so I'm onto the foot of the first one. And I mean, I love striped socks. I feel like they work up even faster because you're just always trying to get through the next color. I don't know if it really is or not, but that's what it feels like. Next up, oh, this is another Sassy Sacks bag. Look at that beaut. Look at that. If that doesn't just scream summer to you as well. God, I love it. This is her large. I bought like the small bag, and then I think I bought 1 medium and 2 large bags from her, I think. And I think this is the large, and it is large and in charge. I mean, it definitely fits. I have a shirt quantity in here right now. Well, more than a shirt quantity, but. So I started, which I did talk about last time, I started the Emmanuel Tea by Johanna Garish. Come on in. He doesn't want in. Does he want in? Come on. Okay. I think everyone's done doing their lawns, so I'll just leave that open for him. So I started that, and let me see. I am through the, where am I at? I've gotten pretty far on it. I just started this a few days ago, but it's also knit and DK, so it works, it works up faster. Hold on, let me not lose any. So I am through the, the sleeveys are over here, and I've connected, what's this here? I can't show this at all very well, huh? And I've connected the V in the front. So now I'm working in the round. So now we are doing great. There's no easy way to show this. So I'm not sure. My stitches are not totally even. I realized a couple projects ago that my purling is way looser than my knitting. So for this, I did try to go down. I actually went down 2 needle sizes for my purling side of things. And it's definitely better. Like, definitely better. Let me see if I can show you the sleeve here. So, like, there are still some rows that are a little wonky, but I'm hoping that it'll just, like, maybe block out nicely. So that's the front, but then the main feature on this is this back lace detail panel, just that goes right down the center of the back. Can you see that okay? And I have never done, I don't think I've ever done lace before, which I didn't realize. And then there was a chart also, and if we remember my chart issue with the Moby sweater, so I was very careful. I read through the entire pattern before even starting, which you're obviously supposed to do anyway. And then I read the chart, and I had to laugh at the chart because I went on a small little rant about the Moby sweater and how I was reading it right to left, even though she has like an arrow that says start here and it's left to right. And then I was making fun of myself because I was like, why would it ever be right to left anyway? Like, you read left to right in general. So that's what a pattern would be. Like, duh, how could you make that mistake? Well, in this pattern, you are reading the chart right to left. So I'm still super new to this. Apparently it's just designer choice or however they are knitting it. And I don't know. It just made me laugh. It made me laugh a lot. So the chart is read right to left. I did it correctly. But I'm really excited at how this is turning out. I don't know. You can see it pretty well and it's not even blocked yet. So that's nice. I don't know how much blocking this will actually do, like how much it will open up, if it'll open up anymore because of the yarn I'm using. This is stash yarn, so I'm super excited to get this, to use this. It's just Bernat Softy Baby Cotton, and it's a 60% cotton, 40% acrylic. This was just left over from a baby blanket that I had made, and the color is soft, no, what is the color? Feather gray. Which, I don't know, it's weird because it's definitely more of a beige to me, but whatever. So I'm using this. I'm very excited. So it is mostly a cotton yarn. I thought that would, still be okay for spring. Hopefully the bit of acrylic won't, I don't know, be weird at all for me, but I'm pretty excited at the progress I've made. I'm not sure how much more of the body I have to do. I do want to make sure I do a proper try on of this as well. And I probably actually, before I finish the body, I'll probably go back through and do the, I can't remember. I think it's maybe like an applied I-cord, but I'll probably go back through and do that just in case it cinches it up at all. Like I struggle with garments still because I haven't done a lot of them, but with it being like proper length and all of that kind of stuff, because as I just said, like I'm still totally learning. I've only, I think, made 3 sweaters. I think 2 of them were the same exact sweater, just for different people. So still incredibly new to garment knitting. So I want to make sure, I want to try it on properly and all of that kind of stuff. I do now, not to like, I do have a lot of garments as whips right now. So I am working on a lot of garments, but I have not physically completed any more than the 3 that I just discussed. So I just want to make sure, you spend all this time, obviously you want to make sure that it's good for you to wear, right? This is another new whip from another bag from Sassy Sacks. I just went real crazy with the summer vibes. And this is what is this called? Oh, the Ginger Wrap by Alexandra Tavel from Two of Wands. This is actually a lace pattern as well. Let me see the front here. And this hopefully will block out a bit because you really cannot see the, oh, I guess you can when you hold it far away, like the texture of it very well. So this is as far as I am. Let me hold it up closer. Okay, is that focusing? Hopefully. And this is her pattern. I'm using the recommended yarn, which is her Lion Brand yarn Color Theory in the colorway Caper. It's just really nice greenish. It's coming up really brown, but it's like a greenish brown. I mean, it really is kind of the color of capers, if you know what those are. So I'm doing that. I started that a bit ago. I did not, though, realize why did I cast this on? I'm still not ready to restart the Moby sweater. I can't remember. I just wanted something, I don't remember. I think I wanted a wrap, but I wanted something that would be more accustomed to summer. So I wanted something that was like lacier or holier, because I have several yarns and patterns for some shawls, but they're all just not the right season, I feel like, right now. So I started that, and then I did not realize how intense the pattern would be. Like, it's very much like every other row. Well, if you knit lace, I guess you know this already, but like every other row is like very detailed and you have to pay attention. So I worked on this for a while, and then a little bit in the last like few days, really since I started the Emmanuel tee, I've gotten over it, because I just haven't been in a space where I've wanted to like pay attention to every other row. But I also do want it. So that's a struggle. So maybe I need to just do, you know, I don't know, like 5 rows a day or something easy on it, and just segment it out a little bit better. So that's that, though. I do really like the way it is working up. Like I said, it's just a little more mind consuming than what I'm looking for right now. Another whip that I don't have to show you is my temperature blanket. So my girlfriend and I are doing that. We are just following the Free Lion brand pattern. It's just a garter stitch blanket. And I was doing it every single night. Each day was taking me about 10 minutes. And then boy, did I fall behind. And boy, am I really behind. And boy, do I not want to do it anymore. But I mean, I have all this yarn for it. I am quite literally almost a month behind. So if each day takes me 10 minutes, that's like 300 minutes of knitting. So that is another project that I really do need to break down and try to. That was actually my like project goal for this vacation week, was to get that caught up. But every time I go to look at it, I don't want to do it. It's just annoying with all the color changes, which obviously, like, that's something that should have been expected, right? If you're doing a temperature blanket. But yeah, I need to do that. I was like showing my husband, and I was like, I don't even like these colors together. And he's like, no, it actually looks really cool. So then I was like, fine. So I need to get back to that too. I don't even have that to show, because I'm literally a month behind, and I don't think anybody really cares about a temperature blanket anyway. I don't know. Might just be me. So that's going on. I talked about those other ones. Oh, now let's talk about, we all know that I will typically have a flub, right? A knitting flub that needs discussed, because I want people to know that it is okay to mess up. Well, my flub is my lightweight raglan pullover, which is a free pattern by Pearl Soho. It was previously my knit night pattern. I have a knit night with a girlfriend on Thursdays. We're both knitting the raglan together. There were a couple Thursdays that we were not able to get together, and it looks like there are still a few Thursdays that we're not able to get together. So we had decided just to work on it ourselves. And I was so excited to work on it. And well, gosh, it doesn't actually look like much, but it is. So I have both sleeves done, and I was starting the body, and I have, oh, sorry, I can't even hold this well. I don't know where in the round I am. So, but this is how far I've gotten. And then this is a beautiful little like corded stitch down here, which is a detail at, hopefully you can see that. It's a detail at the cuffs, the bottom hem, and the neck. So it's, continued throughout. So it actually looks a lot more rolled up than it is. But this was a lot of work right here. This was a lot of work. You knit 8 rounds, and then you knit the purl bump of the 4th row down together with the stitch on your needle. So it's like, that's a lot of, it's a lot of work. And I think I'm knitting like the medium. So this is like 240 stitches of doing that. So anyway, I'm knitting. I literally, it's short rows in the front and short rows in the back so that it creates this like, whatever that's called, kind of bottom hem. So it was a lot of work. I was really thankful for all of the experience doing the short rows, because I don't have a ton of experience with those. So like that was nice. It did eventually feel like it was never gonna end. Then just to have to do it all on the front side as well was a lot, but I got through it. I was back to knitting in the round, and it was just going to be knitting for inches and inches and inches until I realized, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show this properly and as dramatically as I would like to, until I realized this. Do you see this? I twisted my initial chain when I went to join in the round. I tried like heck to not do this. And I just realized at this point. So this is a lot of hours. A lot of hours. And I was really upset. And I just tucked it in the bag. And I threw it in the corner of my bedroom. And this is the first time I pulled this out in 2.5 weeks. No, 2 weeks. I don't know, whatever. Really since like, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Because this is devastating. Like, this is devastating. So I obviously need to restart because, well, I need to, because I want the garment a lot. And I already did the sleeves. I have 2 sleeves done. And I need a body for the sleeves. So I obviously texted my girlfriend that we're making this together, like, as soon as I realized it. And she felt my pain and understood. And as a knitter, I'm sure you understand the pain as well. And it made me so sad. It's so much work. But I guess now I get to experience short rows again and, you know, up my game even more with that, I guess. Oh, this is in a bag. I really like her shop too. This is an older bag. Or not older, but like I bought this a while ago. This is from Charming Necessities. She has an Etsy shop as well. She makes the cutest little bags, and I do love because it has like a little handle on it. She makes cutest little bags. She also makes these like adorable like little girl, like very fancy, like lacy, ruffly dresses and stuff. So it's cute, but I love her bags a lot. And then sorry, not to keep forgetting details. I think she has, yes, she does have like 3 pockets inside for your stuff too. So again, like I said, I could give or take pockets. Typically to me, pockets just mean that they're more expensive because obviously they're more work for the maker. So it's not a need that I have. If it comes with it, great. If it doesn't, great too. So anyway, so those are all of my whips. I still actually, now that I'm talking about my whips, realize I showed last time a seed stitch scarf for my son's teacher. I just realized that I still have not put on the dangles. What are the fringe? I still haven't put that on. I tucked that away because I had finished it. Oh my God, I have to finish that. I should finish that today because it is almost the end of school. They have 13 days left if you count today. So I need to finish that. Moving on though. Oh, so we talked about summer sock camp, right? I'd love to know if you're doing that. And if you have any goals or like what you want to knit, if you are knitting, like, are you knitting a new pattern or are you sticking with old stuff or are you just whipping through some vanilla socks? Like, what are you going to do? I know that I do want to knit 2 lace socks. I would really love to use the rest of this colorway, this robin colorway. I would like to knit some socks, some shorties and lace. I think would maybe look nice. I might have to see how that looks like as I'm knitting it up. But I'd love to knit lace shorties out of that for myself. And then I also have another pair. I have a 50-gram skein from the Net Week Studios that I had bought a while ago that I knew that I wanted to knit shorty lace socks with that. It's more of a white base, so I think that would be really fun for summertime. So I do definitely want to knit 2 shorty laces. And then I have a lingering whip sock that I want to finish for my girlfriend's daughter. I talked about that last time, I think. And then I want to make her socks too. So I already have 4 projects in mind, but again, they're not hard and fast. I'm not gonna hold myself to any like serious goals with it. I just want to knit what makes me happy. But I do want to do, I want to try to at least do those. So we'll see. I do have a few, I think I have 3 total sock whips where like one sock is done and it just needs its partner. So that might be good motivation too, to just get those done. And then what else? I also would really like to knit the Tulsta tee. I talked about that the last time, and I actually went to go start that the other day instead of doing the Emmanuel tee, for no reason, just because I already had bought the pattern and I already had the yarn, and I had not bought the pattern yet for the Emmanuel tee. So I was like, well, let me do the Tulsta first. And I went to go do it and I grabbed the yarn and everything. But then I realized, as I'm sure you have at some point, the problem with having too many whips is my needle for the Tulsta tee was in use and unable to, it just wasn't even worth trying to, it doesn't matter. I have too many whips. So I think instead of doing the Tulsta tee next, I think when I finish something, I know I still have the Moby sweater in the back of my mind to work on, but I think I'm going to try to work through some of my whips, because I do have a few. I know I've done a whip roundup before, but I do have a few, and I do even have some summer whips in there. So we'll figure that out. That's coming. Stay tuned. But moving on, TV stuff. I finished on HBO Max, The Flight Attendant. That's the Kaylee Cook. I don't know how to say her name. There were 2 seasons of that. I loved that show. And I was so bummed that they had gotten canceled after season 2. It said because of like lower viewer watching or whatever. I thought that show was so good. Did you watch it? I don't know. I thought it was really good. I liked it a lot. I thought she was literally amazing. I think she may have won some awards for it. She was so good. Like, she was just so good. Oh my God, it was so good. I loved it. I would probably even rewatch it, honestly. It was so good. Anyway, so I finished that, and then I just finished another series, which I think might be a new series on HBO Max called The Girls on the Bus. It is like a fictional political show, but I wouldn't like stray away from it if you're not into politics, because it's not quite like that. It's more of, it follows these reporters through like an election, and like how they become friends and stuff like that. I liked it a lot. I thought it was really good. I thought there was more than 1 season, so when it like abruptly ended, I was like really bummed. But I'm sure there's more coming, because it must be a new show. I finished that, and then my husband and I watched again on HBO Max. I'm trying to like fully encompass Max since I bought the subscription. We watched The Iron Claw, which is the movie with Zac Efron about the wrestler. It was just in theaters not too long ago. It was really good. I'm not like a fan of wrestling, so like I didn't necessarily care about that aspect of it, but it was really good. Zac Efron's just, man, he's a good actor. Like, he can do quite the plethora of roles. It was really good. It was really, if you don't know the story, it's a very publicly known story. Just if you don't know the story, which I didn't, just know that it is quite sad, quite a tragedy, but very good. I would totally recommend that. What else have we been watching? We're still slowly getting through Game of Thrones. We really just watch like 1 or 2 episodes a week just because they're longer, and then still just busting through Schitt's Creek, which like that's been going so fast. I'm like sad because we're already almost over watching it. So, and I just love, there is no other show besides The Office where my husband and I both laugh out loud. It's just so funny. Anyway, so that's what we've been watching. And then reading, which reading for me, it means audiobooks because I don't read. We don't have to get into that. I finished The House in the Cerulean Sea, which is by TJ Klune. Super, super great, whimsical, just a great read. Just a happy read. I love it. I've read TJ Klune. I read another book of his before, and I really love it. There is a second book in that specific, it's like the second to that book. That didn't come out correctly. But it's not available on audiobook. So I would have to read it, and it's just not where I'm at. Okay, the very quick story, which you probably already know if you watched before, but I cannot knit and read at the same time. And if I ever have downtime, I always choose to knit over like physically reading, whether it be Kindle or an actual book. Like that's not my, I'm knitting. If I have downtime, I'm knitting, period. So I really just do audiobooks. So maybe eventually it will come out on audiobook. Probably not though, because I do think that they're older, but we'll see. It was very good. It was good. The first book did not leave any what are they called? Cliffhangers. So I'd like to read the second. We don't need to talk about it anymore. I'd like to read it if when I ever feel like reading again. And then I am currently listening to A Court of Wings and Ruin. That's the third of the series of Sarah J. Maas. It became available as soon as I was finishing The House on the Cerulean Sea, so that was perfect timing. And then I also just downloaded today to listen to Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. And I was really surprised that became available so fast. HBO just released a movie or a series, I don't remember which, on it that I want to watch, but I really, really prefer, if there's ever a book for a movie or series, I really prefer to listen or read the book first before the movie. It's just my preference. It's just how I like to do it. So so it just became available. I added that to my my audiobook. So I'm going to start that probably today maybe or tomorrow. And it's only 7 hours. So I'll be able to get through that pretty fast. And then I want to watch the HBO movie. I'm also really intrigued about it. Allie from, oh my gosh, what's her amazing podcast? I can't remember. She just was talking about, she reread it because the movie came out. So I was already intrigued by that, and then it doesn't matter. So I'm going to listen to that too. So I have those two guys going, and I think that's it, you guys. So if you came for just knitting content and quick life stuff, please do not feel obligated to stay around. I just have a little bit of a ramble, so to speak, to do now, which I will try to be very quick because boy, this timer is real long. And I really don't like to make super long episodes, but here we are. So thank you so much. Do all the things if you'd like to do them. I do apologize. I have not even had the mental capacity to I think some people had left comments on my last video and I have not gotten back to you yet, and I hate that for myself, and I'm really sorry. I don't normally do that. It's just the headspace I'm in right now. I posted that video and then I just have not gone back to that part of YouTube, but it is on my goals to do this week, because I mean, I know I'm not important or anything like that, but I don't want you to feel less important by me not getting back to you. And I love that part of YouTube in the comments and communicating with everybody that way. So I'm going to get to that this week. And I am really sorry for that. I know I said I'm going to stop apologizing about silly things, but that's not silly. And I feel a little like I disrespected you on my end, and that was not my intention. But thank you so much for sticking around this long if you did. And if you're still here, I just said this last time too, that I've been so good about recording every week, and I really, really love doing it. And I love this outlet of being able to talk about my knitting. Because again, my family only wants to hear so much of it. They don't want to hear any of it. They don't. So I love this, but I have had a really, really rough couple of weeks, and if anybody wants to know more, I just want to be able to offer that too, because I don't mind talking about where I'm at with things like that. And I'm so grateful that there's now this social media platform where it's okay to talk about your mental health and all of that, because that didn't exist when the internet first came out and social media first came out, and that's the era I grew up in, right? I remember when there was dial-up internet and all of that. So, and I know also, respectfully, there are a lot of people that are tired of hearing about mental health issues and things like that, and that's fine too. We're all in different places. But I just wanted to give a really quick backstory to my issues, because they're all surrounding my mother, which I know is a common thing too, right? Parental issues. But my mom and I, she was a single mom. My grandparents and my aunts and the rest of my family, we were all very close and they were all very involved with my life growing up and things like that. But my mother and I began to have more of a difficult relationship in my adult life. Right after college, I had met my husband, we got married, we started a family. So since that point on, we had just had a more of a difficult relationship. My mother and I were never what I consider a typical mother-daughter relationship, which shame on me for even assuming typical things anymore. But it was never like, oh, my mom's my best friend, I could tell her everything. Like, that's just never the relationship that we had. And I'm not saying it was not full of love and things like that. It was. That's just not, I utilize other resources to, it doesn't, I'm not trying to portray my mom in any kind of negative light. We just didn't have that kind of relationship. And that's okay. But then my adult life, it became a little more strained just because I had new focuses and things like that, I think. I don't know. And then 2020, people don't believe me, but I say was the best year of my life. That's COVID, lockdown, all those things. It truly was the most like soul searching, family oriented. It was the best year I had ever had with my family because you couldn't do anything, right? So we were together all the time. The kids were, what's it called? Like they were not homeschooled. Like their school was, like, computer, whatever. So they were home all the time. My husband and I were working a ton from home because both of our businesses were kind of like transitioned to working from home. We were taking walks all the time, exploring our metro parks, doing things that we safely could do. It was literally just like the best year. But in that year, my mom's mental health really took a toll. She very much went down the path of COVID conspiracy theories and kind of the dark side of COVID, not necessarily the factual side. So she really secluded herself to her home and didn't let anybody come over and really just stopped taking care of herself. All the way down to like not even taking her garbage out anymore. Like it got really dark and really bad. So we had figured out then, going into the next year, 2021, we had asked her / forced her with the backing of my family for her to come live with us so that we could help her get back on track medically, mentally, things like that. And then also, leading up to all of this, I had started my own little health journey. I think in 2018 or 2019, I had joined Weight Watchers. I was very serious about getting healthy and losing weight. And I was wildly successful. Wildly. I was below my goal weight. I was feeling amazing. Just all the things. It was fantastic. And that happened in 2020 as well. Like I reached my goal weight. It was awesome. And then she moved in with us in 2021. And the best way that I can say it is that it broke me. Like her living with us just completely and utterly broke me. It became very straining on my marriage. It became very straining with my children because she just didn't have the want to take care of herself. And we really had hoped that moving in with us being able to help her with cooking and, or cooking for her and having her join us for our family dinners and somebody being here all the time for her to feel safe and taking her to her doctor's appointments. Like we really thought that would help. But the sheer truth of it is it's cliche, but you cannot help somebody if they don't want to help themselves. And it just broke me. And it became so stressful to have her here and try to help her. And it was just rough. It was rough, and I'm sure other people have gone through the same situation. It was hard, and my health started to not fail. Like, I don't mean that dramatically, but like stress was coming out in very typical ways. Like, I began my overeating and poor eating habits again, and started to gain back all the weight that I had worked so hard to lose. And I started to lose my hair, but not like my hair. I lost my eyebrows. I'm not kidding you. I will put a picture up because it is ridiculous. And I was starting to lose them. I couldn't figure out why. And then one of my girlfriends was like, it's from stress. And I was like, no, it's not. And she's like, yes, it is. Because she recalled a stressful time in her life when she actually lost her eyelashes. So I'm like, okay. So unfortunately, we had to put boundaries up, and I had to ask my mom to move out. Sorry, this isn't tears. My allergies have been out of control the past week. So we had to ask her to move out, and it was a heartbreaking, incredibly difficult decision to make, but it just had to be done. And it was not because my husband and I were heartless or anything like that. And until you experience a situation similar, I don't think you can fully understand. And that's okay also. If you've never experienced a situation like that, that's amazing for you. So we had to ask her to move out, and she only declined from there until she eventually passed away this past July. She just stopped caring, and it eventually took her. So that was a really hard thing to watch for years. It was really hard to watch my grandma have to go through that, and her sister have to go through that. It was just terrible. I would not wish it on anybody. It was terrible. So she passed away in July. I thought that I would feel relief because she was no longer in pain and struggling. But really all it did was bring back a flood of the mom I used to have, like when I was a child and a teenager and all the good stuff. So I did start therapy after she passed, and obviously I'm sure too late, because it would have been nice to be able to work through some of my issues like with her while she was still alive. So my therapist and I found a good one. I found like a one that worked for me. Like, so very quick, like therapy snippet. This isn't going to be about therapy, but if you are working with a therapist and you do not feel like they are right for you, it is 100% okay to switch. And yes, do you have to go through that beginning stage again of like explaining yourself and your story and why you would like help and what you want to do? Yeah. Does it suck? Yeah. Does it take like a whole another appointment? Yeah. But in the end, it's worth it because you're there for a reason. You have to be able to connect with your therapist. It's just so wildly important. So I finally found a therapist that I liked, that it was great and amazing, and it was like we were meant to be, in that kind of relationship. So anyway, so I was working with her, and I was really making progress. We were working through a lot of stuff. And then in November, so my mom passed away in July. In November, right after Thanksgiving, my father-in-law passed away very suddenly. And it was devastating. And we are still trying to process that because he did not have any known like medical issues. And with his passing came a slew of additional stress because my mother-in-law is disabled. She had a stroke back when my husband was like a young preteen. I think my husband was like 11. So she had a stroke and is disabled. She is very independent for her disabilities. I don't want to like negate everything that she is able to do. But they lived about an hour away from us and my husband's sister. So that just was a whole slew of stress of like, where is she going to move to? How are we going to help her? How are we going to make sure she has everything that she needs? So that was like a whole different thing. So at that point, I had stopped therapy because I just couldn't. There was just too much going on. I like literally couldn't. So, so that happened in July. No, I'm sorry. That happened in November. We moved her up near us in January. Got all that settled. And then at the end of January, my aunt passed away. So now that means my grandma has lost 2 daughters in August, October, 6 months. We had a third devastating loss for me. She was also somewhat expected, like my mother kind of was. She was an alcoholic and was in liver failure for 100 years. But her eventual decline did happen very quickly. We had just saw her at Christmas, and then she'd been in and out of the hospital a lot over the last year. But so we're still shattered from my mom's loss, shattered from my father-in-law, and then this all over again. So it's just, for a family that has luckily not had to deal with a lot of loss, it was just like getting punched in the gut over and over and over. So I restarted therapy because I have not been in a good place. The last month or two have just been like an extraordinary struggle. And I just, I know I'm down and I know I need help. And so I did. So anyway, so I restarted therapy last week. Felt good to be back. We have a lot to work through, obviously. And that's kind of where I'm at. So I couldn't do it. I couldn't make a video last week, I guess. Obviously, that's like the least important thing, but it is something that I enjoy and I value and I do love. So I don't necessarily want to take that away either and diminish the importance of doing these to me. So I just wanted to kind of loop everybody in, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how I am. Sometimes I'm okay, and most of the time I'm not. And I just want to, avoid the entire world and just sit in a quiet space and just knit and not have to think about anything. But that's not life when you have a job and a family and all of that. So, I will be better. I will get better. I know I will. It's just a process. And I'm sure a lot of you have been through it and know exactly what I'm talking about and can totally relate. But, I just always try to be honest, and I know that this is like a knitting podcast, but, this is also my channel, so I guess I can talk about whatever I want. I don't know. But, if you have hung out for this additional segment, thank you. This community, everybody always says it, but this community really truly means so much to me. And it's always so full of support and love. And, I just thank you for being here. I will say until next week, I will try. We'll see where my little head's at. But yeah, I'm going to still be over here knitting and living life and keeping up with whatever I can keep up with. Until we meet again. I hope you are making something amazing. I hope you are having a beautiful week, a beautiful day, night, whatever time you're watching this. And I'll see you soon.